Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It's good to be back for a Sunday night. Even with the time change, it took me a minute to figure out what time am I supposed to be on? What day is it? Is it Friday? No. Is it Sunday? Yes. Is it the correct time? Maybe. It's good to see you all. Good to see you all. DJ was first here. First here. Glitter is here. Hey, Glitter. Laura T, Mr. Dan Yee. That could be a wrap. Who else is here? Carla's here. Who else do we have? Kathy Lynch, Marilyn Clausen, Marilyn Clausen. They're two different people, Ping. Marlene Clausen is here. Angela's here. Gayla. Shasta, I Hate Mornings. Natasha made it. STL Cards. Emily Knob. Hey, Emily Knob. Good to see you. Hope I didn't miss anyone. All right. Oh, hey, Jeanette. How are you? And Cakes Boo's here. Oh, everyone's piling in. Hey, good to see you all. Hey, Lindy. Um, we do have some little updates from the man who I don't know what you want to call it. The man, unfortunately, who died in Scotland yesterday. The story we did. We got a little bit more information today. I'm working on more stuff. I hope it'll come to fruition, but I haven't had a reply as of yet. But we do have a little bit more. So they have now said that that was indeed a 75-year-old man, and I think we all guessed that originally that it would be a 75-year-old man. What is going on with my camera? I might have to fix that in a minute. That it would, yeah, definitely was a 75-year-old man, and unfortunately, what it seems like happened is he got off a bus and tripped and fell and ended up in the wheel well of the bus, and unfortunately, he yeah, he died, unfortunately. Very, very sad. I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing that, obviously, he lost his balance or something and tripped, and yeah, buses are big machinery, very heavy, a lot of force involved, and I guess it's just a tragic accident. It's not very nice, unfortunately. And those photos going around social media don't make it any better. They're saying here a a pensioner has died after he was hit by a single-decker bus in a late-night horror crash, which left him with a severed head. The 74-year-old was killed in an accident in Cowgate as Halloween revelers partied nearby. You can see some forensic police. They're saying it's believed the man fell onto the road and was struck by a bus, suffering catastrophic injuries. A number of roads in the area were closed to allow officers to carry out their investigation. However, the roads have now reopened. They're saying apparently his family is aware of the social media presence, and they're saying that um, that for them it's very disturbing that his remains are on Twitter. They're on Twitter, and that they're not very happy with that because, well, who would be happy with that? I don't think anyone would be happy with that, right? So yeah, we never showed them on this channel. I never showed them, and I don't intend to. But hopefully, people will get the message not to pass these things around and don't be sharing them, you know, online. Let the poor guy, like, I mean, if any of us were involved in a tragic accident like this, would you want our last moments on earth to be, bandied about on social media and people like, taking photos of our face and that being all messed up? I don't think that's a great idea. I think we should try and show some respect to people. So, from what I understand, I can't verify any of this right now. I'm trying to, and if I do, I will bring more to you. But from what I understand, he was a a person on Reddit describes him as my neighbor. His name was Mick, and he was a grumpy old geezer. but he was always kind to me and other people that this poster knows. They say every day he'd feed the birds in our square, making sure they had what they needed to survive. On hot days, Mick would sit in the square, radio in hand, listening to football games. He gets so excited when his team won, cheering like he was right there in the stands watching the game. They say Mick was part of so many lives, he'll be deeply missed. He didn't deserve to go like that. Crossing the street he'd crossed 1,000 times before. So that was from someone who apparently was a neighbor of his and knew him through, throughout the years, saying that he was a very nice man, if not a grumpy old geezer, which is an affectionate term in some ways. In some ways, it's a bit of a just calling him just a grumpy old man. Uh, Marlene says people are soulless. Show some respect. I agree. I think even that guy. So there was a video where a young man actually picks up the head of this 74-year-old man. I fully believe that this morning he is having a crisis of conscience and morality because he probably maybe didn't even know. So he's probably like, oh my god, I picked up this guy. I had no idea. Thought it was a Halloween prop. Angela says, "What area is he from?" I don't know. I believe locally. I believe somewhere very close by. So it'll be within that local area. I don't think it was very far away. I think he lived pretty close. Marlene says, "People are soulless." Yep, I agree. What area is he from? I like I said, I think he is from that area. I don't have uh definite area, but I am trying to get in touch with this person that posted, and I'm trying to see if they'll come on and talk to us, as I'd really like to understand who this Mick person was, if I can verify that's really his name. Um, I'd like to know more about him because I think everyone's got a story. No matter how we find out about you, everyone's got something that should be shared with the world in your death. And it'd be nice to say hear a nice few stories from this person, or just more about whoever he was, instead of these type of sensationalist headlines about a severed head being in the Cowgate area. I'd rather know more about the person than this type of stuff. So I'm going to keep working on that. I haven't heard much back, but it's I think it's late over there. What time is it in Scotland? Yeah, it's like 4 a.m. in the morning. So I guessing they're not going to get back to me like right now. um, maybe they'll get back to me in the morning. Maybe they'll do that. The link I sent has a little video. I don't know. I haven't heard from her. I sent her an email and I don't want to bug her in case she's really not very well or something. So I've just left it. I know she'll either reply or reach out when she's feeling better. And right now, just give her the all the space I can give her to get her to feel better. So when she's feeling a bit better or whatever, I'm sure I'll hear from her. But right now, I haven't heard anything. I hope she's okay. But I'm not inclined to bug people like that. So I don't want to be an annoyance to her. Okay, what were we doing? We're looking for a link. Who sent me a link? Oh, this one here. Okay. Is that the same one we were just on? All right, here we can play it. No, is that the one you wanted me to play? Hold on. Maybe we're in the wrong thing. Hold on. Yeah, that is the same one. Hmm. That's the link you sent me. It's not a 3-minute video. Maybe this one? No. Unless I can't see it because I'm not in the UK, that would make some sense. Yeah, we can play it for you though.
Police Scotland have confirmed that a 74-year-old man has sadly died following a collision with a bus in the Cowgate area of Edinburgh. The incident happened just after 7:30 p.m. last night, and officers received reports of a severed head being discovered in the street just behind me here. Several streets around the area were closed and nightclubs were forced to evacuate as revellers were sent home for the night while a full-scale police investigation got underway. Forensic teams and detectives were seen scouring the street right through the night, but sadly, just in the last hour, police have confirmed the death. In a statement, Sergeant Louise Burrell from the Road Policing Unit in Edinburgh said that extensive inquiries are ongoing to establish the full circumstances of the incident and that they're appealing for anyone who was in the area that's seen anything or has any CCTV to please contact them immediately. As well as that, Chief Inspector Tricia Clark, who's the local commander for this part of the capital, has said that they're aware of images and videos that have been circulating on social media and have asked anybody to stop doing so out of respect for the deceased and his family. Thomas Brown for the Scottish Sun in Edinburgh.
So there you go. If you could understand that. Oh, it's a minute. It shows me as 1 minute. Hold on, I can have a look. Let me check because sometimes they don't show up because I'm in Australia. Maybe this one? Let me have a quick look. Nope. Nope. I was like, nope. I know that just from the voice. Okay. Yeah, we can head over to The Guardian for a minute. They're saying police ask public not to share images of man in fatal bus collision, and they're saying that it has been distressing to his family, and they are now aware of his passing. They're saying the 75-year-old man was struck by a single-decker bus, so we were all correct in saying it was probably a bus last night. They're saying the streets were full with weekend revelers. The incident led to feverish speculation on social media, and some initially believed that the incident was a Halloween prank. They're saying Chief Inspector Tricia Clark, the local area commander, urged members of the public not to share the distressing footage and report upsetting posts to the relevant social media platforms. She said, "We are aware of videos and images circulating on social media which are causing distress to the deceased family and those viewing them inadvertently. We would ask members of the public not to share them out of respect for the family and to report them to the relevant social media platform to prevent further circulation." There has been a lot of speculation. I would like to reassure the local community that this was an isolated incident and there is no risk to the wider public. This was a tragic incident. We are investigating a crash, and our road policing officers, assisted by local officers, are continuing to carry out inquiries. They're saying police in Scotland confirmed that they were called out to the incident at about 7:25 p.m. on Saturday, and that a number of roads and bars were closed down in the aftermath. Justice for Peanut, is that squirrel that got euthanized by the New York wildlife people or something? I saw that. It wasn't just a squirrel, it was also a raccoon. A raccoon got put down too. Yeah, well, I think if you guys want to know about the peanut timestamp, I don't know what you mean by timestamp, but sure. Um, Patty says, "How's your wife's foot?" It healed. She's fine. It wasn't broken, but she actually just got the email this morning that she's going back into surgery in 2 weeks, which sucks, but whatever. We'll just do what we have to do. All right, I can show you about this peanut thing. Hold on. Where is here. Yeah, we will look. I can show a little bit to you. Hold on. Give me a sec. So this was the little squirrel here. His name was Peanut or P, you know,
Australians were
comma, whatever you call it, apostrophe, nut. And they put him down because someone or more than one person called it into the Department of Environmental Conservation. Um, they're saying here that apparently when they picked up the animal, it had bit one of the investigators on the hand while being confiscated from Mr. Longo's home on Wednesday. In addition, a person involved with the investigation was bitten by a squirrel as well. To test for rabies, both animals were euthanized. The animals were being tested for rabies, and anyone who has been in contact with these animals is strongly encouraged to consult their physician. So, apparently, what happened, and I read this story the other day, that this man found the squirrel abandoned when it was a baby, and they they took it in, raised it for a little while, and then tried to release it. But apparently, when they tried to release it, they found it a couple of days later, and another animal, a bird or something, had actually bit its tail, and it only had half a tail left. So they took the squirrel back in, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but they raised it and kept it, and it became a bit of like a social media star. And someone dobbed them in. I'm not sure who it was. Yeah, so someone from social media who saw the, success that he was having with the animal on, I don't know, TikTok or something, got annoyed and probably a bit jealous of the person's, newfound fame, and called it in and saying, this person shouldn't be having an animal with no license. From what I understand, Mr. Is it Longo? Mr. Longo was actually applying to have the animal licensed as an educational animal, similar to what happened in a case a couple of months ago with a different animal. They eventually got a license from the governor to be an educational animal, but yeah, didn't happen. Yeah, I know. I know that. So when they went to investigate this, they confiscated the squirrel, but he also had a raccoon called Fred. They also took Fred as well, and they killed them. They killed the animals, which is pretty gross. I mean, no one here was showing any signs of rabies, and the fact that they had lived in this property for quite a long period of time with the animals, had they presented with, anything, then maybe you'd have a case, but they'd had him for quite a long time. So let me see if I can find. Let's go to WETM in New York. Oh, okay, not that one. Give me one sec. I'll try find a better one for you. Peanut. I just got to be careful what news sources I use for you. Unfortunately, we've had some issues with copyright claims. So let's see if we can find a local. Yeah, CBS New York. Let's head to CBS New York on YouTube.
It's Peanut the squirrel eating.
It just seems like to me that common sense with anyone is in short supply. Everyone keeps, everyone keeps, oh, it's by the book. The animal was well cared for. I'm sure there could have been some sort of, you know, more thorough investigation done to determine that the animal was okay. I'm sure there's people in New York who keep squirrels. Like, they're native, right? They live everywhere. I'm sure he's not the only one who has a squirrel in New York. So Why are they not going around euthanizing all the squirrels? Why did they single him out? Is it because he was making some money from it on social media? Is that what it was? If that's so, then that's just tall poppy syndrome. You're just cutting down the tall poppy when they get a little bit too big for their, oh, he got a little bit too famous. He got a little bit too rich. He made a little bit too much money from the animal. Hey, let's chop him down. Take away everything he loves. Yeah, it seems like he did have some genuine care for it. Yeah, not only I watched a story. What was it? I watched a story yesterday about Florida. I think so. In Florida, there are these freaking lizards that are like huge, and they eat people's like they eat eggs, like bird eggs, and they eat tortoises, and these are from people that are legally allowed to have them, and they've been released, right? Isn't that more of a problem than this guy having a squirrel? Why not focus on the crazy lizards that are getting out? I'd be more afraid of the lizard than the squirrel. I mean, don't you guys have trash pandas that live everywhere too? Like, you guys have trash pandas that like they're everywhere, yeah? So you guys got not only trash pandas, you got squirrels, and you got opossum that live everywhere. I just like what's oh my god, he has a squirrel. What's the difference between that one and the 500 million others that live in New York? Why single out this guy? It doesn't make any sense. Glitter says someone here in Ohio illegally had a kangaroo. I guess it got out. Yeah, I saw there was a kangaroo that got the kangaroos are always getting out. What does that tell you? Don't be keeping no kangaroos as pets. All the 3 million rats, right? Raccoons, right? Raccoon trash panda. No, it's not an iguana. I'll find it in a minute. Kathy, that is very kind of you. I very much appreciate it. I don't know who got it, I can't see, but I do appreciate you gifting someone a membership. Rachel says in most areas, rehabbers are in very short supply. You would want to encourage that, especially in a city landscape like New York. Raccoons can be mean, can they? Do they fight with them? Hold on. Let me find the lizard. Let me find the lizard. It's a, it's a, I think they come from Paraguay or something like that. They're like these black and white lizards and they're getting out and they eat everything. Hold on, I'll find him. Yeah, they're called a tegu or a tegu. So they've been trying to get rid of these things. I saw an article on it just today or yesterday. Hold on. So apparently they eat like a lot of like native species and yeah. Hundreds of dog-sized lizards are wreaking havoc in South Carolina. They also live in Florida. But this is it. Look at this thing. Look at this bloody giant dog of a lizard. I'd be more worried about this thing than the squirrel. Like, when you solve this problem, then you can go after the guy that has a squirrel. Like, you tell me when you find all of these in the wild, and then we can talk about euthanizing a squirrel. Okay? When you get done with that job, we'll talk. Yeah, look at that thing. It's giant. That thing is huge. That's what she said. There you go. There's another one. Apparently they just like people had them as pets and they escaped and now they live in the wild. They're pretty cute. They're pretty cute like colorization, the black and white checkers on them. But I don't know. I just feel like yeah, they unfortunately they eat bird eggs and things like that. There he is, Mr. Tegu or Tegu or whatever his name is. It's not a Komodo dragon. Komodo dragons are huge. Florida has amazing dinosaurs. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's what they said. They said when they got too large and hard to handle, people just like went, "Off you go into the bush." Oh, Paddy L got it? Oh, well, that's very nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. They live in Indonesia. The Komodo dragons live in, yeah, Indonesia. So they don't live in Florida. Although these do. These do, not the other ones. These are really interesting. Apparently, the tegu lizards can actually raise their body temperature 50 degrees above the current climate. So even in cold weather, they can survive. So they really adapt at living anywhere, and they just flourish. So yeah, you tell me when you find all the tegu lizards, and then we can talk about a squirrel. Until then, leave the squirrel and raccoon alone. So they went into the guy's house. The guy's just living his life. And instead of making it into like an educational moment, you could have even had the guy film like, do you know one of the hardest problems that governments have right now? One of the hardest problems that governments have right now is reaching the younger generation. People like, 25 and under, they have a really hard time reaching that demographic. And one of the ways you could have done this is by tapping into his social media influence. So you could have used the raccoon and the squirrel as like, hey, don't be keeping these type of pets, and we do it under the strict supervision of the New York wildlife whatever. And that would have been a way better thing than to be like, you know what, let's take these animals and let's kill them. Why? I don't know, we just want to do a test on them. We want to make sure they don't have rabies even though they're not showing any signs of rabies. Let's just kill them anyway. Why? Because we love killing animals. That's their new slogan. We love we love animals so much, we like to kill them. Patty L says, I have a yard full of lizards and squirrels. They are so fun to watch. Is he? I don't know. I don't follow any of the politics, guys. I couldn't even tell you what they're about. If you told me like Trump, you know, flew to New York and gave away a thousand candy bars like Willy Wonka, I'd probably believe you because don't even watch it. I believe you just vote and hope for the best. There you go. Sean says the best thing about the ibis is they can eat cane toads. Well, we need more ibis. Need more trash. What do they call them down here? We call them bin somethings. What do they call them? Bin somethings. I can't remember the word, but they call them bin something down here. Danny Mitchell says Elon is tweeting it too. Good for him. Bin chickens. That's right. Bin chickens. They call them just like your trash pandas. We have bin chickens down here. They just live in the bins. Rats with wings. No, they're pigeons. So there you go. That's pretty crap. I don't exactly know who. So they're saying here Mr. Longo has asked fans for financial help for a legal battle and for his non-profit Peanuts Freedom Farm. Where exactly are you going to freedom Peanut? He's dead, and you're probably not going to get any of him back. Um, Financial help for a legal battle. What exactly would be the aim of that? Well, I don't understand that part of it. What do you want? An apology? Like a letter that said they did something wrong? Because I don't understand. It ain't going to return the pet. I think you're wasting a lot of money on a legal battle. All you're going to do is sink your and your supporters' money down the drain because the government can just sit there in court for years and drain your finances, and you'd be much better off doing something else. I don't know what it is, but honoring the life of Peanut and Fred in a different way. I don't think trying to start a legal battle is a clever idea. I did see that. They're gonna assign no value to the pet. Exactly. It's just silly. Don't do that. Don't start a legal battle. It's not worth it. I think sometimes everyone just goes, you know how we can fix problems? Let's sue people. Like it's not gonna work, and all it's gonna do is it's gonna suck up all your money and the money that your supporters have given you. It's much better to put that money into a different project where you can keep going on it instead of draining money into lawyers. Find something that generates more income that can forward your project going forward. So if you want to support Peanut and Fred, you can do it that way. That way their legacy lives on much longer rather than trying to just get more media through a legal battle, which could be over in about a year. And all you've done is sunk $500,000 into lawyers and got a piece of paper where they went, "Oh, we were so wrong. Thanks for that. We shouldn't have done that." Like, that's it. It's not worth it. Rachel said, "Put that money into getting licensed, and yeah, go get your or move states if you want. Move states where there's a better licensing scheme for people with wild animals or rehab or whatever. Use that money to relocate, get a bigger property. You can do more. You can do more and save more animals." What does TF mean? TF means the F, like the FUC with a K on the end. uh Maybe you should write a children's book. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe go out. Maybe head to like country New York or something, or even into another state like Virginia or I don't know, somewhere. I don't know. I just don't think a lawsuit's a great idea. The thing is, when you have a lawsuit, and I'm not saying you shouldn't defend your rights or anything like that. You should, but at the same time, you have to weigh up certain things. When you're going against someone like the government, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. There are times where you should definitely fight against the government, but something like this, the government literally has the resources to drown you. They could just drown you in court. I'm not kidding. They could just sit there for years and just keep delaying and delaying and delaying. And you'll just keep paying out money to your lawyers or whatever. And they do it's a tactic. They'll just sit there and drown you. They'll financially drown you until you can no longer continue and they'll win the case. I would hate to see that happen when there's so much better things that could happen out of this situation for Mr. Longo and Peanut and Fred. Burn Popcorn says Trump hates animals. No, we're not doing that here. Appreciate the comment, but we're just not doing that here. To everyone, like I'm not going to read any political comments. Angela says they will say it wasn't a pet, right? They will, and they'll say that he was against the licensing, whatever laws or whatever, and they'll just win. What they did on the day is probably not okay. Maybe they did some things that you might get a win there, but if you were already against the licensing standards, you won't win. April says too late for a lawsuit. Just meet the requirements before showing the world. Right. Maybe should have got the whatever you call it. They can be like educational pets or whatever. Maybe do that. The only reason it worked, there was another case a few months ago where it was a groundhog or something. I think it was a groundhog. The only reason that worked is because they were already a registered like rehabilitation for animals. They already had a past history of it, and they were able to appeal to the governor, and they got that for the I think it was a groundhog. They had raised it from birth and stuff like that. Yeah. Good luck with that. I wouldn't waste my followers' money for that. They can do whatever the hell they want. You get raided, they'll do whatever. They can hold you for 2 days. They'll do whatever. I'm not saying it's right. Just saying it's not a good idea to waste money for trying to defend it. I feel like you could do more with your money. Be smart. Make your money work for you. Don't waste money. Make it a tool to get where you want to go. April says because whoever reported it must like to ruin the fun. Whoever reported it is those, like when you live somewhere and you have those neighbors where it's like they know everything, like, oh, you put your bin out a day late and didn't bring it back in on time. They're the type of people who ring up and dob on people like that. Danny says I disagree. I mean, I think it's just a waste of money. That's my opinion. I mean, I don't think fighting for civil rights is a waste of money. I just think in this particular situation, just going to get drowned. And I don't know if it's worth, like, It'd be different if he was like a self-funded person and he had like $1 billion and you'd be like, "Yeah, sure, do sue whoever you want." But the fact he's taking in public funds, you can't keep doing that over and over again. So what happens if you have this hurdle and then something else happens and you have another legal hurdle? You're gonna then have to try find that money too. So hold on. Okay, there we go. Casper says Karen reported a mean Karen. We have some really nice Karens who come here, that have the name Karen, so I try not to use it, but I get what you mean. Angela says I get my bin when I next go out. I'm not going to bring it in. Just yeah, we have people here that are really mean. They'll tell you off. They'll be like, you didn't bring your bin in on a Thursday, and you know that's against the local bylaws or whatever. Yeah, Peekaboo's name is Karen. Yeah. We have more than one. We have like 3. We have 3 different people named Karen. So I try not to use it because they are actually very nice ladies. And I don't know what it'd be like to have my name used as a meme, like, in a negative way like that. I think that would make your life very difficult. All right. No more animals, no more politics. Let's head to true crime. We've actually got a few child cases, but first I want to talk about this Amber Alert because I think it's well worth talking about. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago we spoke about a really weird story about I just caught it like at the end of the show that was it Texas EquiSearch and the police were searching a property and they were like, "Oh, it could have been a person that's been missing for as long as 6 months." Well, it sparked my mind today because after I found out about that Amber Alert, thanks to DJ by the way, for sending that. I was like, maybe that was related to this investigation because this kid has been missing since like July. How do you have a kid that's missing since July and no one knows? All right, here, I'm going to pull this up for you. Let's go talk about this Amber Alert. They're saying here the Crandall Police Department issues Amber Alert for 12-year-old missing since July. His name is Connor Young. He's 12 years old. He has brown hair. He weighs around 100 pounds, 5'4", and he's a male black child, and he has brown eyes. And apparently, he was last seen with his mom. Is her name Dorcas? That's an interesting name. Dorcas Young. That's her name. She is 42 years old, and she is 5'4" as well. So similar height between mum and child. She's obviously female, and she was last seen in a GMC Yukon, year 2003 model, black, license state unknown. No, I think we have that now. Yes, I do. It's a Texas plate, SNH 9831. And they are trying to find out. The backstory for this is really strange. Here, I'll read it to you. Here, let's go back here. So they were saying on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that this all came about because she had been messaging someone at AT&T with very disturbing messages. That's why would here I'll show it to you. It says Crandall Police said it received a call from an AT&T employee on October 30 advising that Miss Young texted concerning messages regarding her mental health. When officers went to her home in Heartland, no one appeared to be home. Police said Kaufman County pinged her phone, which showed to be in the area of Park Lane and North Central Expressway in Dallas. Police said on November 2nd, her 24-year-old daughter arrived at the police department to file a missing persons report on her mother and 2 siblings aged 19 and 12. They say the police department said late Saturday night that her black 2023 GMC Yukon was located at a hotel in Dallas, and officers are still working to locate her and the 2 children. So I don't know why we only have the name of one of them, but I'm guessing because the other one is 19 and an adult, that's why we don't know. But they're saying here that the last time they seen anyone saw the little boy was the 4th of July this year. And they believe that the children may be in grave or immediate danger. That is very concerning. Let's see what it says here. I don't understand this. Received a call from an AT&T employee advising that she had been sending concerning messages. Did she work at AT&T? It's very strange. Like, what? How do you message AT&T in text messages? Do you have some sort of like text? Like, you can text 121 for help or something. Like, if you have like problems with your AT&T service. Let me see if I can find something here. Let's go to the Fort Worth Star Telegram because I want to know more about how that works. There you go. So yeah, the last time they saw the boy was July 4th near the 2800 block of Lolita Way in Heartland. And anyone with information is asked to contact police. Weird, I don't understand that. Dallas News. Let's go to Dallas. You're missing since July 4. Department of Public Safety listed him as last seen in that 2800 block, about 25 miles from downtown Dallas. They say in the Amber Alert, police say the 42-year-old mother is wanted in connection with the abduction of her son. She is believed to be just driving that Yukon. They say Crandall police said on Wednesday it received a tip from an AT&T employee that Young had sent concerning text regarding her mental health. Yeah, but what do you mean? Hold on, I'm going to check the chat because people are probably screaming at me. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, I don't understand how you text AT&T. You can like text them for like tech support or like, hey, my service is down or something, or I'm not getting phone calls. Instead of calling them, like you can text certain things. Let's see, AT&T. Can we do tech support? Ah, you can. Okay. So on prepaid, you can text 75421 and you can chat with them. So you can like do like SMS type, support. It's interesting. I wonder why she would text them and why she would bother telling them concerning messages. It's interesting. Texas SNH 9831 license plate is registered to a 2002 four-door GMC Yukon, according to the DMV. Yeah, is that what we just read out? Or did they say 03 model? Did they say an 03 model? Hold on. Yeah, they said an 03 model. They say she's believed to be driving a black 2023 GMC Yukon with Texas license plate SNH 9831. So Casper says it's a 2022 model. Interesting. You have AT&T? Doesn't surprise me. You're a Cowboys fan. Isn't their entire stadium sponsored by AT&T? Yeah, that's pretty good, right? A person from a company not affiliated or whatever contacted the police because they were that concerned. Imagine what those text messages may have said. I miss why she called it AT&T. We don't know. They just said that apparently a worker who worked there um, contacted police after she was saying concerning things in text messages to them. Hey, Glitter. Thank you for your alien language. I appreciate it. Okay, let me have a look. Let's get rid of that one. There's the three of them. Well, there's two of them, Connie Young and Dorcas. I'm gonna say it's Dorcas, but someone's gonna tell me it has a silent C in it, and her name is really Doris. I'm gonna say her name is Doris, not Dorcas, because imagine how teased you would be at school if your name really was Dorcas. They're saying here they just issued that Amber Alert, Crandall Police Department. Okay. Let's have a look at their Facebook. Maybe they've got something for us. Yeah, Crandall Police Department. No. Interesting. I would have thought this would be the first thing on their social media, but it's not. All right, I'm going to go to Yahoo because sometimes they have more info than other places. Okay, so no. Here, Fox 4. Here, on on Saturday night, Dallas police were called to the La Quinta Inn on North Central Expressway around 1 a.m. Officers say it was in response to the Amber Alert, but no other details were provided. But I think that's where they found the car. So they've located that 2003 GMC Yukon, and I think that's where they located it, at the La Quinta in North Central Expressway. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, let's go here, La Quinta. Yeah. How far away is that from the area? Sorry, my knowledge of Dallas is piss poor, so. Okay, so it's just outside of Dallas. Like not even that far. It's on the 75, is that right? I-75? North Central Expressway. Is that I-75? Why do you use confusing names? Oh yeah, North Central Expressway. Okay. Well, that's very interesting because they actually have three La Quintas or La Quintas in the North Central Expressway. There's actually three of them. There's one in Highland Park. There's one in North Dallas, and there's one in what suburb is this? El Rancho? Is that the suburb? It's not giving me a suburb, but it's it's called Far North Dallas. Okay. Very original with your name. So we have Dallas, we have North Dallas, and we have Far North Dallas. Very, very, very descriptive. It's actually pretty close to Richardson or Buckingham. So they have three along that North Central Expressway. La Quinta. Oh, that's right. I remember seeing the ads on the football. My middle name is Dorcas. Is it really? I wouldn't be surprised. La Quinta? Okay. I see the ads on the football sometimes for that hotel chain. Can't say I've ever stayed there. Can't say I've ever stayed there. And they don't have them here. We have boring hotels. We don't have anything that has any fun names. We just got like Hilton. I don't know. I don't know what the others are. They're all boring ones. No fun Spanish names for us. What? That advice by I don't know what that means. What? Every time you write glitter is forever, YouTube thinks you're swearing and I have to say it's okay. Really? Why would that happen? Why would that happen if you write her name? because it's got the weird letters in it? It's a Bible name? Is it? Okay. Can't tell you. I don't read the Bible. I told you. I go to church 3 times a year. I go to church at Christmas, I go to church at Easter, and I go to church at least once a year for a wedding, christening, or whatever those type of things are. Other than that, I'm a believer of that God is everywhere and He's with us every day. Don't need to go to a pointy house to make sure that He knows I'm following Him. Glitter is forever says sometimes. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah. It's probably because of the font she uses. Makes sense. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go mispronounce more things. That's what we should call this channel. Listen to Ping mispronounce words for an hour and a half each night. Okay. Well, I hope they find that little kid. There's not a ton of info. It's interesting that the cops are like, "Hey, here's an Amber Alert, but we don't want to tell you anything." I find that very strange for a kid who may not have been seen since July. Wait, July 4? Tomorrow for you guys is November 4. Why that particular timeline? It's almost like, to the day. It's interesting. And that would have been summer break, right? So are they saying that he never went back to school after the summer break for kids? Wouldn't the school have reported him missing? Like, when in in the Madeline Soto one, there was a big uproar because the school didn't do the proper type of like procedure when a child doesn't turn up. I thought in Dallas, if your kid doesn't turn up for more than a couple, like even one day, that alarm bells start going off, and that if this kid didn't turn up for like what an entire term, that there would have been an investigation triggered a lot quicker. That it's interesting that it took this long, and for one of her other children to come forward and report her missing, and an AT&T worker to say something, but not the school, not the public school. I don't know. Maybe he goes to private school, but not the middle school that he went to. I find that interesting because I know in America some of these schools are really anal about if a kid is late, even they're just like they'll send alerts, and if you don't answer the phone, if you don't reply to them and tell them that, hey, I'm a parent, that's okay, I know where they are, like they go crazy. Well, so they should. A missing kid is a big deal. So I find that odd, unless she has been covering for him the entire time. Like every time the school rings, she's like, "Oh, he's ill. Oh, he's had surgery. He's going to be off for the entire term." Like something like that. Glitter says, "Yeah, it seems like they would have reported him as truant after so long." Right. I mean, the summer break ended first week of September, right, for you guys? So 1, 2, almost 3 months. That's an entire term of school. He would be missing. You can unenroll them saying you're moving, they're going to private or homeschooling. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, without her intervention, yeah, they would have reported by now. Hi. Getting in late? Okay. Rachel says it could have been homeschooled too. Could have been. Glitter says my son went from private Christian school to homeschool and he still has an account for so many hours a week online. Really? That's interesting. Oh, because it's like a contact thing. I get you. I get you. What was your other name? Because I ain't ever seen your name in here before. So what was your other name? Evil Alaska says, howdy y'all. Howdy y'all to you too, my friend. I just want to check one place for something. Hold on. Then we can go mispronounce other people's names. Hold on. Let's see. No, that's me. That's them. Initially, no, we already know that. It seems like the information we have is the information we have. No one seems to know anything else about anything. Something tells me that the police would already know a lot more, especially about the preceding 3 months and, like what's going on. Yeah, because they said no one's seen him since July. So he definitely didn't turn back up for school in September if he goes to in-person education.
Alert for a missing 12-year-old from Kaufman County remains active tonight. Connor Young was last seen at the shops at Park Lane in Dallas. It is believed that he is with the woman on the right of your screen, Dorcas Young. Connor is from Heartland. That's about 25 miles east of Dallas. Police say Dorcas sent concerning text messages regarding her mental health. If you see them, call 911.
I also find it really interesting. Wait, what happened there? Hold on. There we go. That microphone is playing up. That just switched me to a different audio input. That was really weird. I find it interesting that his last known location is a shopping center, not his place of residence. Like it's not like someone came over to their home and saw mum and kid. Their last known location was a shopping mall. That's a weird place to be last seen at. There's some weird stuff going on in this particular one. And then the fact they found her car at La Quinta Hotel. Glitter says, "Sad. I wonder if the little boy from the car wash did. Oh, that little boy that ran away. I think the conclusion I saw about that was it was intentional. I mean, of course it's intentional, but I mean, I think someone had set him up to run away at a certain point when they were in Arizona. I think that's where I heard that. Were they homeless? Oh, that's an interesting point. Maybe that's why they were seen at a shopping mall. I don't know. I don't have that info. Mother is missing too, which means there is a custody. Well, I haven't heard anything about a father, and no father called it in. It was it was one of her adult children that called it in, and the worker from AT&T, not a father. So if this was a custody related issue, we probably would have seen the opposite side of the family call it in, and then we would have said family members were the ones who were concerned. Maybe hope they would release that. That would help us. Hold on. I want to check on that one in Arizona. Did they ever find him? Yeah, Elijah Gumbus, right? In Tulsa, Arizona. Did they ever find him? No. Doesn't look like they ever located him. He's now been missing for 2 months out of Arizona. I really do think it was deliberate. Like he had something set up. I don't know if it had something to do with his father. I don't know if it had something to do with his mom. I don't know if it had something to do with someone he met online. But I definitely think it was like premeditated is the word we use in true crime. I definitely think it was something he met someone online or he was told to do it. I don't think a child would just jump out of a car in Arizona and just run away in a city that they don't know, they don't have money, they don't have any resources. Why wouldn't he do that in California where he lived for a long period of time, where he has friends, he has, you know, connections and things? It's a weird thing to do it in a place where he doesn't have any support. All right, here, I'll play this very briefly for people who don't remember this particular case.
Thank you. It's been over a month since a 13-year-old boy went missing from a car wash in Tolleson. Elijah Gumbas was last seen back on August 31st, and police say they're extremely concerned. Tonight, we're hearing from Tolleson police about the latest in their investigation. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono joins us now live in studio with that story. Bianca?
Yeah, Trim, we've obtained surveillance footage from that car wash, and it shows that all it took was a few seconds for Elijah to disappear. What started as a road trip with a quick stop at this car wash at 83rd Avenue and McDowell in Tolleson has led to a missing child. Surveillance footage from around 7 o'clock in the morning on August 31st shows 13-year-old Elijah Gumbas get out of his mom's car wearing a red shirt, then jog west. Seconds later, his mother is heard calling out his name. He hasn't been seen or heard from since.
We're extremely concerned. We're very involved. We have a detective that is 100% dedicated to just this case.
Tolleson Police Lieutenant Lee Garrett speaking with 12 News over the phone about the case. Over a month has gone by since Elijah's disappearance.
He was on a major roadway as well, so there's a lot of areas there that he could have either met with somebody or taken off or hit or something like that.
Garrett says Elijah and his mom live in California and were on their way to Louisiana for her work. As far as police know, they have no ties to Arizona, making this case even more concerning.
We don't know how he would have connected with somebody here.
Police say there is a history of custody issues between Elijah's mom and dad, but neither live in Arizona, and police have confirmed Elijah is not with either of them.
Yeah, from what I understand, the first person they checked out was the dad, and he wasn't there, and they've checked in on him a few times, and the child is not there. So yes, Elijah's 13, and the other one, Connor, is 12. So very similar age group. Very similar age group. I Hate Morning says something else. I didn't read if he had anything with him, but I fully agree. I think it's pre-planned. I don't think a kid just does that for no reason. I don't think he's like, I hate Louisiana so much, I'm gonna run away in Arizona. Although I love Arizona, so I don't think it's a bad place to run away. I don't understand. Like, one of the things they said after he went missing was, oh, he might be in Louisiana. What? He was going to Louisiana with his mom. Why the hell would he be in Louisiana? Why wouldn't he just stay with his mom and go to Louisiana? They were like, 10 hours away from being there. All you have to do is shut up and sit in the car. Like, I don't understand why you think he would go there. It was a really weird thing for them to say. Glitter says, I just think it's weird that he could set it up because how would he know where his mum was going to go wash the car? No, I think it probably would have been more like mum might have told him, we're probably going to make a stop in Arizona, like to get fuel or food or, have a break between the drive. Like when you go on a drive when you're little with your parents and they're like, hey, we're going to stop at the McDonald's on the highway at X, Y, and Z. So maybe he knew they were going to stop in Arizona somewhere. Didn't know where, but somewhere in the, on the route there. Maybe there was some planning that he knew of. Yeah, it is. I can't believe 2 months, still not located. Casper says while they were traveling, maybe, or he did it before they left. Something like that. Who stops to clean their car during a trip? Well, when you drive, and I've done this drive from California to Arizona, I've done that drive a few times. It's really dusty. When you head through that desert area, your screen, there's bugs and a lot of like sand, and it gets over everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if you stop to like wash the windshields and the car a little bit. No, it's real like that drive between California and Arizona is pretty very dry, very dusty. I don't think it's that strange. I mean, I think it's strange that they were there for so long. I don't think it's strange to clean the car after driving that far. Glitter says it's not even halfway. How would think that they would wait until he got to the end? Look, I've done that. I've done that trip. I know it's pretty bad driving through that desert area. Casper says cleaning car while traveling is normal out west. Yeah. And it's a pretty long drive, even just from Cali to Arizona. It's a pretty hard drive too. You're going through all like canyon area, desert area. If you go north a little bit, you end up in the Grand Canyon. Glitter says, I think usually when you're traveling, if you have to wash your car, you drive through at one of the gas stations. I'm trying to think where we did it last time I did it. I think we did it on a highway, like one of those big, what do you call it? Yeah, like a big gas station-y thing. They have those, um, like areas where you can clean the car or whatever. You put like $2 in or whatever and can clean the car. That's where we did it. Glitter says, I can understand that it probably would be pretty dusty. I don't know. That's a mum. If my kid ran off, I would run after him. She says that there was a car there that picked him up. So why would there randomly be a car that would pick up a child at a uh, like a car wash? Why would some car be like, "Sure, little boy, hop into my car while you're on camera"? Like, yeah, she's like, someone definitely took him. It's a little strange. Rachel says sometimes you have to stop to use a high pressure jet just to get the bugs off the windshield. That's right. They have a doggy wash. What is a doggy wash? Like to wash the dog? Do you wash dogs at a car wash? Never done that. You need someone to bring me some cookies at 2 a.m. in the morning. Maybe I don't know, what's that company that does your home delivery in America? Like Postmates or whatever? Hey Sienna, how are you? Sienna says I've never stopped to wash my car on a long road trip. You clean your windows when you get gas. You save your money for gas and hotel stays. Yeah, I mean we just did the windshield and the back windshield because you have to be able to see when you're driving. I've never washed the whole car. DoorDash? Is that the one that everyone is Postmates still a thing? Do you guys still have that? It was really big like 10 years ago. Is that still a company that delivers food and that? Because it was really big at one point. Everyone was Postmate everything. Can get a Ferrari Postmated to you. Use a squeegee at the gas pump. No? They closed down? Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, what happened to them? Postmates. It sounds like they're still around. Sounds like it's no good anymore. From the reviews I see, people are saying that it's not like it used to be in my quick little Google search. Never heard of Postmate? Really? They was like really big for a while. Like all the celebrities were doing it, and it was sort of before Uber Eats came along, and everyone was
Thank
Postmating
you. It's been over a month since a 13-year-old boy went missing from a car wash.
It'll be over a month before I open this link again if you don't shush. Silly news article. Yeah, here. See, order on Postmates. Get food, drinks, groceries, and more delivered. Deliver now or later, or yeah, it was sort of like a big. I think it's more an app. You use the app, but Glitter says I deliver for DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats and Instacart. We don't have Postmates around here. Interesting. It was a bigger thing like about 10 years ago. That's weird. I swear it was in like every rap song and TV show, and they were really trying to get it off the ground at one point. Maybe they just never did, and Uber Eats killed them off. Because yeah, that's what There's a thing here and it says, "Do you want Australian food near you?" The hell is Australian food? Yes, I'd like some Australia, please. What type would you like? Oh, the barbecue one sounds good. Yeah, actually, do you want to know something really interesting about the difference between Australia and America? In Australia, I can order groceries right now to get delivered to my home, and they don't charge up. Like, I can still get specials and, BOGO and things like that's what you guys call it. We don't call it that here, but I know that's what you call it. But we can get like all the specials and things like that, same as what you see in the catalog, and you just either pay the delivery fee or be a member. But I know in America, when you guys use Instacart, you can't really get the specials. The price on every item costs more than if you went into the store, and it ends up being a lot more expensive than if you just went into the store and did it yourself. But in Australia, you really just pay the delivery fee, and the cost of everything might be a couple of cents more per item, but not like $2 extra for, you know, say something's $3. It's not going to be $5 when you get to the checkout. And I found that very, very interesting that uh, they haven't done that here, but I know in America it's quite expensive to get groceries delivered. Casper says Postmates was bought out by Uber and renamed Uber Eats. Oh, is it? Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. April B says never heard of it, but I live in a rural area. See, Ping's stuck in a internet time warp. A spawn. Yes, ours are different price and not the special price. Yeah, well, here we get the specials and things like that. They're not allowed to put the prices up on groceries here. Not the big supermarkets, anyway. Little ones like IGA. Hello, my Canadians. I know my Canadians have IGA as well. We have IGA down here. But yeah, interesting little bit of different between our lives that we can do that here, but I know that you guys have problems with high prices of groceries being delivered. All right. Let's keep going. I thought you might find this interesting, and then we're going to go. I have some information about the Halloween shooting in Orlando, and what that guy did today. It's going to make you very mad. But they're saying here, Florida's convicted killer clown released from prison. Here is her photo. Her name is Sheila Keene Warren, and she was pictured here from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in 2017. They're saying a woman who pleaded guilty to dressing as a clown in 1990 and murdering the wife of a man she later married was released from prison on Saturday, ending a case that has been estranged even by Florida standards. They're saying Sheila is now 61. She was released 18 months after she pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for the shooting of Marlene Warren. They say the Florida Department of Correction records show that she's now been released. The plea deal came shortly before her trial would have started. They say Keene Warren, who has maintained her innocence even after her plea, was sentenced to 12 years in prison, but she has been in custody for 7 years since her arrest in 2017. And under Florida's law in 1990, they allowed significant credit for good behavior. It had been expected she would be released in only 2 years. They say Sheila Keene Warren will always be an admitted convicted murderer and will have to wear that stain for the rest of her life. And they're saying, according to her attorney, she had only took the plea deal because she would be released in less than 2 years instead of facing a life sentence if convicted at trial. So, very interesting. I'll tell you how it happened. They say witnesses told investigators in 1990 that she was then called Sheila Keene, and Michael Warren were having an affair, though both denied it. Over the years, detectives said a costume shop employees identified Sheila Warren as a woman who bought a clown suit a few days before the killing. And they said one of the two balloons, a silver one, read, "You're the Greatest" was sold at only one store, a public supermarket that was near her home, Keen Warren's home. Employees told detectives a woman who looked exactly like her had bought the balloons an hour before the shooting. The presumed getaway car was found abandoned with orange, hair-like fibers inside. The white Chrysler convertible had been stolen from Michael Warren's car lot a month before the shooting. It's very convenient. They say Keen Warren and her then husband repossessed cars for him. Relatives told the Palm Beach Post in 2000 that Marlene Warren, who was 40 when she died, suspected her husband was having an affair and wanted to leave him, but the car lot and other properties were in her name, and she feared what would happen if she did leave him. She allegedly told her mother, "If anything happens to me, Mike done it." He has never been charged and has denied involvement in her killing. But Rosenfeld said last year that the state's case was falling apart. One DNA sample somehow showed both male and female genes, he said, and the other could have come from about 1 in every 20 women in the US. Even if that hair did come from Keen Warren, it could have been deposited before the car was stolen. He said Marlene Warren's son and another witness also told detectives that the car deputies found wasn't the killer's, though investigators have insisted it was. They said the detectives conceded last year that there were holes in the case, saying that they were caused by 3 decades it took to get to trial, including the death of a key witness. They say Michael Warren was convicted in 1994 of grand theft, racketeering, odometer tampering. He served 4 years in prison, a punishment his then attorney said was disproportionately long because of suspicions he was involved in his wife's death. On Saturday, he did not return calls for comment. So she dressed up as a clown, walked over to her lover's place, got the wife to answer the door, handed her this bundle of balloons and flowers. The woman goes, "Oh, what a lovely, what a lovely gift." And then she pulls a gun out and shoots her in the face, killing her, all while dressed like a clown. Yeah, it's a little wonder why people have so much hate for clowns when you hear stories like this. Let me see if I can get you like a little video of it. Hold on 1 second. All right, let me see if I can find it for you. Let's see if we can find a little. They're all really, really small videos, but I want to show you. Okay. Hold on, let me check something. Okay. That's fine. Sorry, I have to now check who owns each TV station before I show you anything. Because there's one that's a complete, swear word that I can't use anymore.
Long cold case murder in Wellington, the killer clown case, which earned national notoriety, has come to a close after a last-minute plea deal. Suspect Sheila Keen Warren, arrested in 2017 for the 1990 killing, now agreeing to a plea deal, a guilty plea to second-degree murder. Her lawyer says gives her the prospect of freedom in a few years' time. WPTV's Chris Gilmore joins us live with more. Chris?
Hi, Michael. You know, this is a pretty notorious case, as you mentioned. I spoke with not only the state attorney, but also the defense team today. And Greg Rosenfeld, the defense team leader, said that in his words, he's thrilled that this came to this head today. At one point, he says that this was a death sentence case. Now he says that his client, Sheila Keen Warren, is facing a much shorter, lenient sentence. Now, we went on to look into the original not guilty plea due to that 1990 case, the murder of Marlene Warren. It was switch of events overnight that we saw. Switching that plea today, prosecutors say in 1990, Sheila Keene Warren showed up to kill her then lover's wife, Marlene Warren, at her Wellington home dressed in a clown costume. Keene Warren, according to prosecutors, shot and killed her before driving away. We spoke to not only the defense team, but also the state attorney's team after this hearing today. Also hearing from the victim's son as he heard the sentence being played out.
Miss Keene Warren's innocent. She's not, taking this plea because she committed this crime. She's taking this plea for the same reason that a lot of people do in our criminal justice system.
She finally accepted responsibility and pleaded guilty to murdering Marlene Warren. It was long overdue.
The only thing I want to say is all through this trial, I didn't see any remorse. And that's all I have to say.
Joseph Aarons did go on to say a little bit more to Keene Warren in the courtroom as I was sitting there today. His last words were, "God be with her moving forward." So we'll continue to follow this case and the upcoming prison sentence now being handed down as this continues. Back to you, Mike.
I don't know why that did that. Hold on. It completely just shot out of it. Give me a sec. Let me load this up. All right. Hopefully it doesn't start playing that video. Give me a sec. Let me stop this. All right. So there you go. Now she is out of prison, serving only around a couple of years now on parole. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that was the son. Hey, Kalisa. Is it Kalisa? Let me know. Good to see you. Oh, Thavi put a new video. Is it a spooky one for Halloween? You'll have to let me know. Angela says, "Nah, opening the door to a clown would have given me a heart attack. She wouldn't need to shoot me." I don't think anyone should open your door to clowns ever. Don't be opening no doors to any clowns. Don't be doing that. By the way, who won the Vikings game? Who won the Vikings game? Who won the Minnesota game? The Vikings won. They did not look like they were going to win eventually. They started that game very poorly. All right. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. We got one more story for you. If I can find it. Actually, we got two more. I want to talk to you about a little girl, and then we've got one about the shooter from the Halloween party. Really, really terrible what he did. Actually, get this, we'll do that one. Today he was due back in court, and get this. He was such a big boy that he decided to take a weapon and fire it, killing 2 people at a Halloween party. But he wasn't such a big boy to go to court today and face the judge. Instead, he sent his mother to go attend court for him, and he hung out in the cell rooms down below, wouldn't come out. What an absolute P word. Can't use that word on here, but I would. That's exactly what he is. Hold on. Yep, would not come out to face the judge. They're saying here, Orlando police release identities of 2 killed in Halloween shooting. 25-year-old Tyrek Hill and 19-year-old Timothy Schmidt Jr. were killed when someone opened fire. Well, it wasn't someone. We now know who that is. Why is that showing me? Why did that load an old link? Hold on, guys. That loaded a really old. Here. Yeah, suspect in Halloween shooting in Orlando waives court appearance. They're saying the suspect in a shooting at a Halloween celebration in downtown Orlando Friday night has been identified as a 17-year-old Jalen Dwayne Edgar. The incident left 2 people dead and 7 others injured. The teenager was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder with a firearm and 6 counts of attempted first-degree murder with a firearm. They're saying he's a former Cypress Bay High School student, and no, they're saying a former Cypress Bay High School student was among 2 people killed in the shooting during a Halloween celebration in Orlando on Friday. The city posted on X that Timothy Schmidt, 19, was one of the victims, calling the news heartbreaking. And they're saying, uh, the identified suspect, Jalen Edgar, who was reportedly arrested for grand theft last year. Police said he was charged with those 2 counts of murder. 6 of the wounded were taken to Orlando Regional Medical Center, where they were said to be in stable condition today. Police said later Friday that a 26-year-old woman was also injured while she was attempting to flee, and the crowd trampled her. And yeah, so let's watch this video up here because I'll explain about court today. For some reason, they didn't write about it.
Halloween night shooting in downtown Orlando. The 17-year-old suspect that left 2 people dead and several others injured will stay behind bars for now. Saturday morning, his first court appearance was waived. However, the suspect's mother did appear in court, becoming emotional while trying to speak with the judge. The state attorney says, based off several factors, it is likely the teen will be charged as an adult. And we have learned one of the 2 people killed in that shooting was from right here in South Florida. Police identify him as Tim Schmidt Jr., but family and friends affectionately called him Timo. Timo graduated from Cypress Bay High School earlier on this year and was part of the Weston Football Club. He just turned 19 years old and was a freshman at the University of Central Florida. A 25-year-old man was also killed in the shooting and 8 other people were hurt. That teen under arrest, police say, seen wearing yellow in this video right here. And the city of Weston tweeted about the shooting and Timo's death, saying, "We send our support to the families, friends, and the Cypress Bay community." But yeah.
So there you go. He was such a, such a wimp. He sent his own mother to appear in front of the judge. His mother was devastated, I mean, like any mum would be, to the fact that she's probably going to lose her child for the rest of her natural born life. But, and I do feel somewhat sorry for her, but at the same time, what was your son doing carrying a firearm out into the public at 17? Why did you send your mom? I don't get that. You're all chitty chitty bang bang with the gun, but as soon as someone wants to hold you accountable, you're like, let me hide in my cell and waive my court appearance. Come on, man. You want to play big boy games, you gotta face big boy consequences. And that includes turning up to court and facing the judge on your charges. Khaliza says he should not have the option to be absent from court. Well, apparently he does. Patty said all these young kids knowing they won't be charged as adults is ridiculous. I agree. She can visit, the victim's family can only pray. That's right. She'll still get to see her son, but this other people's kids are dead. And sounds like sounds like both of them were pretty good people, and one of them was working with the city. I don't know what he did. Hold on, can we find that? So one of them, 19-year-old Timothy, was he played for Plantation Football Club Rush Soccer Club and described him as one of the most humble people you could ever meet. Sweetest person I've ever coached in my life, according to their coach. I saw a great person, great future ahead of him, but God knows what he's doing with these people. A friend of Schmidt's called him good people and said, when you think about him, not a single negative thought appears. They're saying Jalen Dwayne Edgar has been charged now with those multiple counts. At a news conference on Friday, Police Chief Eric Smith said Halloween is one of Orlando's busiest nights of the year, attracting between 50,000 people and 100,000 people annually. And so there you go. He didn't appear in court today. His mum did. to answer those charges, and they believe he'll probably be charged as an adult. Yeah, they're definitely trying due to the nature of the charges. His new goal is jail. Well, no, the kid who died was a soccer player, not the kid who was charged. Yeah, senseless, right? Like I said, people just trying to go out and have a good time, have some fun, yeah, blow off some steam and have a Halloween party, not try and fire a gun. No one even understands why he fired the gun. Yeah, no motive has been provided. Let's see if we can play this video for you. Come on, video.
10 injured in a mass shooting in downtown Orlando. 2 people are dead. The mayor has declared a state of emergency.
Honestly, I am frustrated to have to stand in front of you all and again share the news that we have lost another life due to gun violence.
Tonight, we're hearing from the victims.
He pulls out this hand motion like that very quickly. Boom! I just saw a light flash.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. You're watching News 6 at 5. And we learned just a few minutes ago that there was another person shot in this. Officials say that person drove themselves to Orlando Regional Medical Center, meaning there were 7 people who were shot and injured from the shooting. Another person was sent to the hospital because of trampling. The suspect is behind bars tonight, but Mayor Buddy Dyer says there will now be a curfew in effect in downtown Orlando. News 6 anchor Ginger Gadsden joins us now live from downtown Orlando. So Ginger, walk us through what happened early this morning.
Yeah, Matt and Lisa, it's still a lot of information to process as we are here just a little more than 12 hours after those first shots were fired last night, sending people scrambling to safety. And people are still in shock that.
And you see how chaotic that scene was at the start of that video. It's just, I couldn't imagine being the cop there having to try figure it out. And at one point, the shooter even hides behind the cop car. I mean, what the hell? Not looking forward to Tuesday? We'll see. We'll see. I hope it goes well. Hope everyone voted for whoever they think will win. Whoever you think aligns with your values, I hope that's who you voted for. Don't let TikTok people, celebrities, try and influence whoever. You vote for whoever you think will improve your life, keep your family safe, improve whatever work you do, and you think that your vote will go towards that and help, then that's a good thing. Don't listen to these stupid people on social media. Don't listen to people like me that talk into YouTube. Just do what you think is right. I think it'll be okay. I don't think it's going to be as bad. I think the one in 2016 was pretty bonkers, and the one in 2020 was pretty crazy. You ready for change? Me too. Like change on the dollar menu at McDonald's. If you have only $2, you can get a McChicken or something. 2-for-1 change menu. Whatever helps the share price. I don't know. I don't know who's going to win. Who knows? Who knows? I think anyone who's telling you otherwise is full of crap. I think we never know until it's all said and counted. Glitter says, I'm not worried as much as who's going to get elected as what the aftermath is going to be. Well, there are a lot of childish people out there. No say. I own 1 share. I just have 1. I get no say. All right, let me see. By the way, this week, very, very interesting way of doing this. I'm going to show you something. If I can get it to load up. They're saying that the William Terrell inquest will restart this week for the 48th millionth time. They're going to be going back to the inquest, but get this, no one investigating the case right now is going to be called to give any evidence on anything. No theories, no what they think happened, where they're at right now in the investigation. They will not be called to the inquest to give any information on the current investigation into William Terrell, which is ridiculous. They're saying here the inquest into William Terrell's disappearance will probe the police theory that his foster mother buried his body in bushland after he fell from a balcony and died on the morning he vanished. And according to counsel assisting Jared Craddock SC, said that's the reason we're here to look into the theories. The theory is that William must have died at his foster grandmother's home at 48 Benaroon Drive in Kendall. The theory police assert is that she must have quickly resolved that if the accidental death of William was discovered, she might lose Lindsay. So I'm pretty sure Lindsay is a code name for the other child. Lindsay, not her real name, which can't be revealed for legal reasons, was another foster child in the care of the foster mother at the time, who also can't be named. Police assert that in that frame of mind, the foster mother placed William in her mother's car. After alerting a neighbor to William's disappearance, she drove her mother's car to Butter Creek Road and placed William's body somewhere in the undergrowth. Mr. Craddock told the hearing on Monday that the foster mother had no recollection of the precise time she drove her mother's car from the property after the boy vanished on the morning of September 12th, 2014. Look at this. Redacted. Redacted people, no faces. But I want to show you that balcony. So let me grab my links here and I'll show you that how high that balcony is. Here. So this is their property right here. Right here. This is the balcony that they believe that William fell from. And as you can see, it's quite tall. It's not very short. It's quite a depth for a child to fall from. And they believe that this is the balcony where he fell and died. And you can see from that height a small, 3-year-old child would definitely not survive that fall. Not always. Some kids have fallen from multiple stories and survived, but you land the wrong way or whatever, it can result in, very, very drastic injuries to a child. So you can kind of see there. Maybe, Thavi, maybe. And yeah, if you look here, I will show you. If I can get back to the correct link. Yeah. So there's quite a bit of land surrounding here. This is Benaroon Drive. This is the street that they believe all this took place on. This is actually the back side of the street. So as you see, it goes up here too. This is the front of their property up here. If I can get the correct driveway, it's here, right? Yes. So this is the front of their home. From the front of their home, it looks quite normal, but it's a huge block, which is pretty typical in more country areas of Australia. So you have to go all the way down here and then turn the corner, go down a little bit, and then you can see the balcony up here. There you go. There's a better view of it too. So you can see that drop, especially from this end here. It's a hell of a fall if you were to fall from it. And police have raided this property a number of times too and had a look at it. They've had sniffer dogs out here. They dug up that entire garden at one point because he was playing on the balcony at the time. The theory is that his favorite character was Spider-Man and that maybe he was playing on the railing or, you see those poles every, 10 feet along or whatever. They thought maybe he jumped up on there and was swinging around them pretending to be Spider-Man and fell and there was an accident and he died and the foster mother covered it up to avoid losing her other foster child, who they ended up being charged with some charges related to her later on. Some of them they beat, some of them were found and convicted. Glitter says there's absolutely nothing more valuable than life. I agree. That's true. Glitter says, well, then the foster parent should have lost the other child because they should have been watching him. He should never have been able to get up on that railing. I agree. But that's their part of their theory, is that she freaked out knowing that the child would have been taken from her. So she would have lost her boy, who they hadn't fully adopted yet. He was just fostering. And then they would have lost the other child too. Patty says, if it was an accident, they should have called. Now look at the trouble they're in. Exactly. They could have just called and said, hey, he was playing on the veranda and he fell and had critical injuries. It happens, you know. It's very sad, but children, unfortunately, do silly things and get injured all the time. That railing doesn't look unclimbable. No, it looks pretty easy to get up there. I think you get some money. I don't know how much, though. That is true, Glitter. That is true. So there you go. I just wanted to show you the property because not a lot of people have seen it on the map and what the actual street and block looks like. A lot of people, when they're thinking about this case, think it's like a straight road, but it's not. There's actually a bend in it that goes around their property. So very easy to hide or get away if you wanted to. But this also plays into the other theory that he was abducted. I mean, you could make the case that the property is so wide and open that if someone was to abduct a child, that wouldn't be a bad place to try. Yeah, let me get back to our link. For some reason, it's not opening up. Come on. There we go. So as you can see, like you can see how big that block is. If you go down here, here you go. You got that crossroad here. More people's land and property. But your neighbors aren't exactly super close. They're these huge acre or like multiple acre blocks of land down Benaroon Drive. There you go. A tractor with an Australian flag. And you get down here to the end of the drive, but it sort of goes in a loop. This has all been developed. This wasn't like this, I don't think, 10 years ago. This was more bushland, if I remember correctly. This is all new development. You can see the trucks and all that flattening the land. Pretty sure that was all bushland back when William went missing. So if we go up this road, I'll show you a bit more. Take us up the road. So yeah. There you go. We're approaching their property. And yeah, you could see like you can buy both arguments. I mean, if a child was, but you wonder, right? If the child was up here and not on the ground level, how would anyone abduct them without getting onto that top level and the parents noticing that there was a strange person on their property? How would anyone get up there? You know, or if you believe her story that I think she says he was on the grass, but I think a lot of people believe that he was on that balcony. Ah, Google, you are a pain in the butt. Why are you doing that? Ah, Google. Look at this. It's made my arrow pointer just massive for some reason. It's a police plot. They don't want us to know. They're trying to stop us from investigating. All right, hold on. Let's go back up here. Nope, it's no, it's not going to let us. It's being really annoying. Ah, who cares? All right, I can't take you around back to the front. It's not allowing us today. It's got some sort of weird glitch. There you can see sort of the relation to the house to the street. They saying someone pulled up here and maybe abducted him from the back, but police believe now that he was playing up here and that he fell and suffered critical injuries to the point that he died, and the parents covered it up. So missing child home looks like a 1970s construction. It sort of does, which means it's sturdy. It does. Hey, Kaliza. Kaliza says it said the foster mother had a hard time handling William as he had a lot of energy. They think he may have been punished a lot or neglected. Well, those recordings that they made of the foster parents after he went missing did demonstrate that even on the older girl, I think she's a little older, they were very harsh on her. Like the language used was with her, most people would consider abusive. Like they were really mean to her. I wish I could find them. Maybe we can. Hold on. Let's see if we can find them. Here, ABC published it last year. William Terrell's former foster parents appeared to berate child in secret recordings played in court. These aren't William, these are his sister, foster sister. They're saying they said things like, so police bugged their home, and that's how they got these recordings. Yeah, they said in subsequent recordings, a woman was heard telling her husband that the child was hit really hard with a wooden spoon, to which he responds, "We've got a big problem." Mr. Marsh said the purpose of playing the recording was to ensure the court could hear the tone, the volume, and manner in which the words were spoken. On Tuesday, the court heard a recording in which the former foster father appeared to berate the child in an expletive-laden tirade, calling them effing stupid little S word, saying, "We've fed you, we've housed you, and you treat us like S." The following day, he was captured in another recording saying, while the child might have felt scared, he was so exhausted because what you do consumes everyone. These people are just, they're crap people. I'm sorry. The fact you're speaking this way to the child is disgusting. No one should ever have given you a child to foster, ever. And I don't care about how many people come out and tell everyone what lovely people you are. Look at the way you speak to a child. Why are you fostering children if you have no patience for them and don't understand that their life is so different? If you foster a child, you need to understand that they are very confused, they don't really understand, and for them, their life has been so disjointed that, everything it takes a lot of time. And for you to be like calling them these names and hitting them with wooden spoons to the point where you think it's going to leave marks and stuff, like, I cannot believe that. You look at this and you wonder, what did they do to William? What did they do to William, who was a hyperactive little kid who, as was said in the chat, the foster mother had trouble handling him because he was so rambunctious. And, no, I don't believe so. No, all foster children. Yes, I would say that that is true, Caspar. Yeah, I believe they were never right for fostering children. If you feel the need to speak to the children like that and hit them and stuff, you don't have the patience involved in raising children who have had broken lives early on. They need a lot of care, they need a lot of understanding, and they need people who can understand that these children will never fit into a square, hole. They'll never do that because they're not like they have a lot of layered issues that may take a lifetime to sort through from, I was a foster kid. I was adopted. I understand it very well, and I understand what it was like being that age. I mean, you don't have the capacity to understand or break down the issues when you're that young. Now I'm older, I can, but even now it's still a challenge. But when you're that age, you don't know anything and you don't understand why you feel that way or why this is happening to you. Everyone else around you is controlling everything. And for a little kid, that's very scary and may cause them to lash out or act differently. The fact that they treat them like this is horrific because I've seen people like that in the foster care system who it's almost like they purchase you, right? That's what they think. To them, it's like, "Oh, we went to the local white goods store and bought a new fridge." For them, it's like, "We went to the local baby store and bought a new child. Why isn't my child acting like it should do? Oh, this child must be broken." Like, that's exactly the way they're treating, William's sister, and I bet they treated William the same, if not worse, as well. Thavi says, "My adopted parents fostered infants from when they were 39 to 74, over 82 babies. That's a crazy amount. They need a letter from the president." Sean says, "I was born across the road." These kids need special attention and care. That's right. That is Parramatta Courthouse. That is true. Yeah, it really frustrates me because, like, reading those statements gives me, like, flashbacks to when I was that age. I just know these people. They just expect them to be like this neat little package, like, "Oh, I bought a little baby. It's gonna be like as if I squeezed it out myself, and it's gonna be the perfect little child." And they just don't get that there is so many layered problems with especially with kids, like, they know that you're not their real parents, and the way you treat them says everything to them about it. It really does. They know very early on when you treat them differently or your tone of your voice or the way you do things or just many different things that they pick up on. But yeah, so that's going to be back in, well, as of today, back in inquest. What will we find out? I don't know. I hope we find out what happened to William at some point. He deserves to be found and laid to rest with his family, his real family, which is his biological mum and dad and his grandma, his biological grandma. They miss him. They're saying here, William Terrell inquest. Police suspect foster mother buried toddler after accidental death. This was only a couple of hours ago. They posted this. They said the prevailing theory is still that they believe now that the foster mother is responsible for his disappearance. One of the interesting things I heard was that a stranger abduction in this part of Australia would be so extremely rare that that is already an insurmountable challenge to try and rise above against a different theory of the foster mother being involved, which is much more likely, much more understandable, and the sort of surroundings of that day really fit into that. The fact that he was up, he was running around, no one was really watching him that well, and then all of a sudden he disappears. So. They're saying despite a decades long investigation involving hundreds of persons of interest and dozens of searchers, no trace of the boy, last seen wearing a Spider Man suit, has ever been found. The current round of the inquest will examine a 2021 search of the Kendall property and the surrounds, the third by police into Williams' whereabouts. They say Craddock said after initial search for the toddler in September 2014, further sweeps of the area using GPS trackers and police dogs was conducted in 2018 and 2021. The 2018 forensic search was intensive, thorough search, he said. By comparison, the 2021 search was at a further level of intensity. In looking for William, police followed through on tip offs from prison inmates and clairvoyants claiming to have information. You start taking tips from clairvoyants, you have no leads. They say one lead involved a car that was heard doing a U-turn in the street outside the foster grandmother's home about the time of the disappearance, but police have been unable to verify that information or track down the vehicle. The inquest continues tomorrow. So we'll have more information for tomorrow night's show. He was a cute little kid. Your mum said she found you under a rock. Born in a barn. Oh, you guys are funny. All right. I think that's it for tonight. I think we're about done. It was a good show. Hey, I really appreciate Danny for sending a super chat for justice for Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon, and for Kathy Lynch for gifting a membership. I really appreciate it. Support of this channel is much appreciated, and people keep telling me I have to remind you to say like and subscribe, but I hate saying that. But if you could, I would appreciate that too. But I had a lot of comments last night in the YouTube comments after the show, people saying that they need a reminder. So there's your reminder. Please like, subscribe, and if you can, use the links below the video to support this channel. By the way, one of our people said they were unsubscribed from your channel. I didn't do it. I've heard of this happening, but it's never happened to me before I joined your channel. If you are unsubscribed, make sure you check your subscription status. It's happened to a bunch of people on this channel since I've been having this channel, and it seems to keep happening to people. So please make sure you check and make sure you are subscribed and your notifications are turned on to all. All right. Yeah, I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow at, I think it's 8:30. I'll have to double check. Hey Anna, how are you? It's good to see you. Now go save a squirrel. Okay, we'll all go save squirrels after this for Danny. Hold on 1 second. I'll just check one thing before we get out of here. Before we go. All right. All right. Hey, I love you all. I love you all very much. I will be back tomorrow, and we'll do our 2-hour show from 8:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. On election day, I don't know what we're going to do, but we may be on for many hours, trying to distract people from the chaos of election day. We may just stay on all day. I don't have anything on that day, so actually tomorrow here is a public holiday. Tomorrow here in Melbourne is a public holiday. It is Cup Day. So tomorrow is like the Kentucky Derby that you guys have, or the New York one. I don't know what it's called, but the one they do in Flushing Meadows or whatever. That's our thing down here tomorrow. So tomorrow is the Melbourne Cup horse race. And for this particular city, it's a public holiday. So tomorrow we are off. Nothing on. Patty says, tell Mrs. Ping hello. Have a great day. I will. The wildlife in Tassie. It's the Melbourne Cup D Cup Day. That's a different day. That's an OnlyFans special event. But no, tomorrow is the Melbourne Cup. Went to the horses. Yeah, so you can watch it tomorrow, I think, online. It's a horse race, the race that stops the nation. It really doesn't. It only stops people in Melbourne because it's a public holiday. Everyone else still has to go to work. In every other state of Australia, they still have to go to work. It's only Melbourne that gets a day off. So yeah, just us. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. The Kentucky Derby. Yeah, all those. All right. Bye. See you tomorrow. Good night. By the way, we have contacted StreamYard to fix the ending videos. It's still stuck on the old one, even though I have uploaded and updated all your names. But if I click this end button that I'm about to do in a second, it's going to play the old one. There's nothing I can do about it. So hopefully they fix that shortly, because we have so many great subscribers and people who financially help the channel that I want to make sure they're in the video. So hopefully they fix that soon. Bye. Good night. See you later. Bye bye.